What's up, Red and Black Faithful? Edward Lewis and Augustine Gonzalez here at the Honda Center in Anaheim, where we just watched the magical San Diego State Aztecs season end on a 74-67 loss to Kemba Walker and the UConn Huskies. Edward, back and forth game. There were some turning points, and a couple of turning points people were talking about were the two technical fouls that SDSU had, one on Kawhi, one on Jamal Franklin. Give us your thoughts on those fouls.
Yeah, the story of this game really should have been that UConn's advancing to Elite Eight and this magical San Diego State run ended, but instead it was what happened in those technicals. We talked to Jamal, we talked to Kemba, we talked to Kawhi, we talked to all UConn players. Basically, they say Jamal brushed shoulders with Kemba. He flopped, is what Jamal said, and he went down, and it stopped a run in the second half. San Diego State was up by 4, and they looked like they were going to get on a run, and that gave them free throws, and they shot them, and they made them, and it stopped a run. And then the first half, Kawhi was jabbering back and forth with the UConn player, and he got teed up, and the other UConn player didn't. And Steve Fisher said they probably both should have been teed up. But that, again, put Kawhi Leonard, gave him a second foul, and made him go in and out of the game. And after the game, post-game locker room, he said, look, it's hard to play basketball when you're in and out of the game all game long.
Yeah, Edward, big game by Kawhi Leonard, too. Just came up short, almost got a double-double. What are your thoughts on his future as the NBA draft is looming, their season's over?
We talked to a lot of scouts, a lot of pundits, a lot of experts. I mean, being here in the Honda Center, there's a lot of big names here. And a lot of them say he's a first-rounder, and it looks like he's guaranteed a first-rounder. But to me personally, I think he's got to get a jump shot. You saw he almost made a three-pointer that would have put the Aztecs ahead with about 2 minutes left, a minute left, and it bricked. And that's kind of been the story of his Aztec three-point career. He made a big one down the stretch in the second half, yes, but he's missed so many three-point shots. And really, I mean, that's a mid-range jumper in the NBA. I mean, the three-point line's like 4 more feet back in the NBA. So, you know, he's got to make a jump shot. But, I mean, he's clearly a first-rounder, and he's probably going to be a lottery pick with the lack of depth in this draft. But still, he's got to get a jump shot before he really can become a force in the NBA.
Edward, before we move on and talk about the thoughts about the program for the future, what were your thoughts on Kemba Walker? 36 points. He penetrated a lot, got in the lane.
He's good. He's not Jimmer. Jimmer can do everything. I mean, he could shoot, he can bomb. Kemba did well, but there was no real wow plays. There was nothing real amazing about him. I mean, it was honestly the quietest 34, 36 points I've ever seen. But I did learn a lot about he seems very, very arrogant and very cocky. In the post-game press conference, I got that from him. On the court, I got that from him. Every three-pointer he made, it's, yeah, me. You know, it was just kind of, calm down, buddy. Like, you know, you're a Sweet 16 team, you're a Elite 8 team. You don't need to be cheering like this. And I just got that was kind of cocky and arrogant. And that might hurt him in his future.
All right, Edward, now SDSU's magical season ends. They finished 34-3. What are your thoughts on this program for going into the future?
Well, they got Jamal Franklin coming back. I mean, he's a stud. He can dunk over everybody. He jumps out of the gym. LeBradford Franklin, if he gets better, in practice he looks all right. I mean, he makes some dumb plays every once in a while, but he looks all right. He could run the one. Then you got Rayhan coming back. You got Xavier Thames coming back off a red shirt. Brian Carwell might get a 6th year. I mean, they got a bunch of guys coming back. If Kawhi doesn't go in the NBA draft, they got him coming back. I mean, it could be a good foundation. I mean, I think they're definitely still an NCAA tournament team. Are they number 2 seed? Probably not, but I think they're a tournament squad.
Let's talk about the seniors. What about Malcolm Thomas, Billy White, DJ Gay? What do you have for them in their future?
They're all good enough to play pro ball somewhere, and especially DJ has real leadership qualities that you can't really find as a point guard. But yeah, they didn't show enough in their 4-year careers to justify an NBA pick. But you know what? They might get a call from the NBA. They might do something. They might play pro ball. I mean, they're good enough.
All right, UConn will next play on Saturday against the winner of Duke, Arizona. There you have it for the last Daily Aztec overtime ever. Thanks for kicking it overtime.